So let me ask you one question. Have you ever learned a new word in English and when the time has come to speak, you just blank out? Yes, you know the word, you know the meaning, but when it comes to speak up with that word, it doesn't come out from your mouth the way it should be. And this is the reason every learner of mine, they always ask me, ma'am, that you teach so many words, we learn them, but we struggle to use them in our daily life communication. And this is what I tell them, that you need to frame the sentences, you need to those sentences and words in your daily life conversation. But sometimes, you know what, fluent English is not all about words. Sometimes it is also about the phrases that we call in English chunks. Yes, you heard it right, chunks. So do not worry if you're struggling to learn the words, then I'm here to help you with the phrases. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Shruti Soni, your English coach who does not only help to elevate your English language skills, but definitely make you a better personality. And if you're new to my channel, then do not forget to subscribe to my channel to get the notifications of my future updates. And you know that today I'm going to deal with something that has never been talked about or has never been so much talked about on internet, and that part of English is using chunks in your daily life communication. Again, let me give you one more example. Imagine you are building a house, and for that house, what do you need? You need bricks, right? But with no blueprint, like you do not know how to put the bricks out there in the structure of the building. So what do? You bring the blocks. When you are not able to construct the building brick by brick, you will bring blocks of the brick. And that's exactly what chunks do in English language. When you struggle with the words, they are the chunks who are going to help you in speaking fluent English, because they are ready to use blocks of English language skills. For example, that's a brilliant idea. So this is the chunk that you can use it anywhere without thinking that whether you are making a grammatical mistake or not. Make a decision, come up with an idea. So these are few examples of chunks that you can use without keeping any grammatical tension in your mind. At the same time, they can help you and save you by learning words every day. So today I'm going to tell you 16 chunks that I have divided into 4 categories. The first category is your daily life communication. Second category is your professional settings. Third category is your academic setting, and the fourth category is your social and emotional settings. So without wasting any time, let's get started with today's video. So the first category is daily conversation chunks. And for that, I have the first chunk, that is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it means ultimately, or when everything is considered, सब कुछ हो चुका है, and at the end of the day, what do you want to say? Means it also talks about the conclusion. So instead of saying conclusion, you can say at the end of the day. For example, at the end of the day, we have to meet the deadlines. Now just imagine you are speaking this sentence in English in the most fluent manner, where you have not worried about learning the word and their meanings, and without pausing, without translating, and without being robotic. Just imagine. And this is the reason we are supposed to learn chunks to make our English better. The second phrase that I have for you is, you know what I mean. So it means you are confirming something to somebody. For example, he is nice, but you know what? He's too quiet as well. You know what I mean. Here, you're just trying to tell somebody to understand you. So, you know what I mean is a chunk that you can use without keeping any grammatical tension in your mind. Just imagine, सारे के सारे जो chunks हैं, उसमें कोई grammar rule नहीं है. You just need to learn them, and you just need to know the usage of them and use them in the circumstances. Moving ahead with the next chunk, that sound like a plan. When you give an approval to any plan, for example, you are planning a movie or a trip with your friends, and when you get agree with that, you can say that sound like a plan. Next is, and this is my most favorite one, it is as far as I know. Yes, instead of saying I think, you can use this phrase as far as I know. It talks about that it is up to your belief system and what you think. For example, as far as I know, the report has been submitted to the manager. Next is to be honest with you. It means it talks about your sincerity. Yes, when you show your sincerity and honesty with somebody. For example, to be honest with you, I didn't enjoy the movie that much. So here you are sharing your honest review about a movie with your friend. Now quickly move to the professional or workplace chunks. Now this is extremely important and you can use them in your email writing as well as in your verbal communication. So the first one is, and it is my favorite, I would like to bring to your kind attention. So here you can use this phrase in your meetings, in your presentation when you want to particularly talk about a particular subject. So I would like to bring to your kind attention. This is the most used phrase that is used in the most polite manner. Whether you are agreeing with something or disagreeing with something, you can use this phrase. For example, I would like to bring your kind attention to the subject that we have been discussing for so far. Now just imagine you're using these chunks and you sound like a fluent speaker. Next chunk is, let me get back to you on that. Now, this phrase is used when you are not sure about something and you do not want to say something immediately. So, what you want to say कि थोड़ा पीछे की तरफ जाते हैं, let's discuss that point once again and then we will make certain conclusion. हम आगे बात करेंगे. So, this phrase is used when you do not want to say something immediately. For example, I'm not sure about this statistics. Let me get back to you on that. मतलब I'm not sure about this statistics जो भी आप शो करें हम पहले उसको थोड़ा और डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. Next chunk is we are running out of time, which means you do not have any time. तो आप ये नहीं बोल सकते I'm short of time. This doesn't sound formal. At the same time ये करेक्ट भी नहीं है. So this is a natural way to say that there is not much time left. So we have to do certain thing in a particular time frame. For example, let's wrap this up. We are running out of time. Next one is, could you do me a favor? So it's a polite request when you are seeking for a help. For example, could you do me a favor and review this file? Just imagine. कितना अच्छा sound कर रहा है. And this is how you need to use these phrases. Moving to the next chunk, that is in the meantime. So in the meantime means in a while. And it particulars refers to the time between two events. For example, the documents will take an hour. In the meantime, let's grab a coffee. Yes, and now we are moving to the academic or formal chunks. The first chunk is according to the data. Yes, now here you are talking about an evidence. For example, according to the data, the sale increased by 43% compared to the last year. So यहाँ पे you are referring to the evidence. So according to the data or according to the report, according to the project or anything you can add on instead of data. But don't say according to me. Okay, for that what you need to say, I believe or as far as I know, that we already discussed. Next is there is no doubt that or undoubtedly. Yes. So these are two alternative phrases you can use when there is no question about anything, when there is no doubt about anything. For example, undoubtedly, she is the most qualified candidate for this position, or there is no doubt that. So you can use either of the phrases for a situation when you do not have any doubt. Next is, it's worth noting that. It is used when you are emphasizing on something very, very important. For example, it is worth noting that 80% of the students are from the different backgrounds in this university. Instead of saying it's important, you can say it's worth noting that. Now just see the difference. Instead of saying it's important, you can say or you should say it's worth noting that. Just see the difference. Now moving to the last chunk, that is social and emotional chunk. So the first chunk is I'm not just feeling it. It is an interesting way to say no. Yes, instead of saying no, आप ये बोल सकते हैं कि मुझे I'm not feeling like, मुझे मन नहीं कर रहा. For example, I know it's a popular movie, but you know what? I'm not just feeling it. मतलब मुझे फील ही नहीं आ रहा कि मुझे पिक्चर देखनी चाहिए. Next is I get a picture. It means I understand. So instead of remembering any particular word regarding understand, and I understand seems to be quite old, you can use this chunk, I get the picture. For example, I know what happened with my friend. Now I get the picture. Next is I am on edge. So here it means you are worried. Yes, for example, I'm on edge regarding this project being submitted to my teacher. I'm not sure about it. And the last phrase is I didn't see that coming. It talks about your surprise कि यार मुझे नहीं पता था ये होने वाला है. So instead of आप इसको आप translate करेंगे अपनी हिंदी से English में, तो it will take a lot of time for you. So for that you can remember this chunk. I didn't see that coming. For example, the ending of the movie. I didn't see that coming. So here you are showing your surprise towards the ending of the movie. So yes, guys, today we are done with these 16 chunks. So do let me know, would you rather to speak with words or with the chunks in English to speak fluently? Because you know what? Fluent English isn't hard. It just you need to know the right way to learn it and use it. So do let me know which chunk was your favorite one in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.